Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus all day long, all day strong, and we got so much to get into. Still more college football to talk about. Transfer portal. Over 1,200 people jumped up in that bad boy. And I'm talking about some big, big names, not just some backups who've been sitting out there and like, deadgummit, I just can't start here, so I got to go somewhere else. We're talking about some big, big names. Some stud defensive tackles, some stud defensive linemen, some big old hosses, and quarterbacks galore. We'll talk about the transfer portal, name, image, likeness. By the way, y'all mentioned I was listening to my buddy Zach Boyd and Dave Woloshin on the earlier program. They brought up Utah and Cam Rising. Cam Rising did not play this season, but is coming back next year. Get this. This will be his 7th year at Utah. Damn, homie. I've never had a relationship for 7 years. And I was married once. Didn't make it to 5.
Neither, I guess.
7 years. Yeah, you're 23?
Yeah, 23.
Damn it, look how good I am with these numbers over here.
Smart guy.
Tearing things up. But we're going to talk a little transfer portal today. We're going to talk some name, image, likeness. We're also going to continue to discuss a little bit about the College Football Playoff Committee and them leaving out Florida State, and just some of the people out there who are freaking out. I really don't understand it. I'll explain a little bit of my argument. It has to do with why is everybody just so outraged? And Dacus, I want you to listen to this. Why is everybody so outraged about Alabama being put in on over Florida State when they have a loss? I don't know if you look at the 3 slot, homie. But doesn't Texas have a loss? And nobody has a problem with Texas being in there. So if Florida State, who's, undefeated, oh my God, I went undefeated and my season was meaningless, they can't get, the only thing they were good enough to get was just the 4 because they were good enough just to get in because they were undefeated. And Alabama, who just beat the number 1 team in the country, Georgia, you would have had no problem if Georgia wins. Georgia's 1, Michigan 2, Washington 3. And then everybody, if you don't realize, Texas still would have been over Florida State.
You know, John, I was thinking about this last night, and,
Still!
John, you're absolutely right. I was looking at Florida State. I took a little bit of a closer look. And Florida State, even when they had Jordan Travis, really wasn't that good. They pulled away from a 6-6 group of 5 team late, in the second half, needed a big second half to win that game. They needed, one player to step up. I think it might have been Jordan Travis.
They needed a miracle to beat Pitt.
6-6 rival. They had a 3-point win versus a 4-8 conference foe. I mean, this Florida State team's not that great,
Again, and that is the truth.
And wait, that was my Alabama file. Never mind. That was Alabama. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
okay.
That wasn't Florida
Again,
State.
That's fine. That'll work. But again, you're upset and you bring up Alabama and you continue to only talk about Alabama, but Texas was going to get in over Florida State anyway.
No, I agree. Florida State shouldn't be in over Florida State either.
Why is everybody complaining about, Alabama got in there? Everybody, if Florida State was so good, why aren't you mad that they didn't get the 3 seed since they were undefeated? Why didn't they go Michigan 1, Washington 2, Florida State 3? They're the undefeated ACC champs because there's 5 Power 5 conferences. Every year there's ones that are stronger than the other. But the SEC has won 5 out of the last 6. Alabama beat a Georgia team, a 2-time national champion who's won 29 straight damn games.
That's right.
And if you watch that football game, there were full-grown men and a bunch of dudes are going to play in the NFL in that SEC championship. You watch Texas boat race Oklahoma State. They're playing great. And then you watch Florida 3-3 in Louisville late in the 3rd quarter in the ugliest damn football game I've ever seen. Please. Child, please.
Good Louisville team.
Please.
John, no, you're absolutely right, and that's why I was talking to Brett about this yesterday. That's why my biggest problem is the 4-team playoff, because it was always flawed. I mean, when you have 5 Power 5 conferences,
but that's what they wanted, and do you know why they wanted it? Because they create fodder and drama,
and that's what they've gotten. I mean, no matter what side you sit on, this has been a great last 3 days for the NCAA because it's the only thing people are talking about. I was listening to a national show yesterday, and they even brought up the fact that they had been talking for an hour and a half, and on Mondays they always just talk about the NFL. They really don't talk about college football.
We get into the NFL big time. I did not talk about the NFL yesterday at all.
Absolutely.
So, by the way, people, I'm going to give you a little NFL action today.
Got to. I mean,
I'm going to give you some fix. We're going to talk about last night's game. We're going to talk about everything this weekend. We're going to talk about the 49ers boat racing the Eagles. We're going to talk about Eagles Cowboys coming up this week, man.